other facts from the production side, but
Go for it.
yeah, we'll run through
Yeah,
them.
go for it. Yeah.
Okay,
Because
so
I've got like 6 pages left.
oh my god. Right.
Wait.
Production designer Richard van der Vende devised a simple color scheme for the film inspired by its desert setting. Blue equals good, red equals evil, and yellow is neutral. So, like Jafar is black and red, Jasmine is in blues, and the Cave of Wonders is blue, but the ruby that tempts Abu is red, etc. The color design was also inspired by old Persian miniatures and Victorian paintings of the Middle East.
Yeah, like I love all the colors. It just everything is just perfect.
I was going to say, isn't it all based like the drawing on the letter S or something? When they was designing the genie, the curl of like his tail is taken on other things, which is why Aladdin's pants are curved, although they're partly inspired by MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Oh.
But also Jasmine has that curve with her trousers and her hair, and the curves just appear throughout. Yeah, look it up, people. Look, listeners, you look that one up, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, it was right."
Well, the layout supervisor, Rasul As-Sudani, traveled to his hometown of Isfahan in Iran in 1991 to get a feel for the look of the film, and he took nearly 2,000 photographs.
I mean, I can imagine back then, Iran was probably very beautiful.
He's gone on a holiday. That's what he's done. He's gone on a holiday, took a few snaps, and been like, "Oh yeah, no, it's a business expense."
Yeah. Aladdin was originally fully aware that Jasmine was the princess when he first met her. It was changed because the production team believed that if implied, Aladdin fell in love with her because of her money and power, and not because he genuinely cared about her. Yeah, I'm kind of glad to change that.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been very Disney, would have it?
No.
Well, that's why that little bit of bread, when he gives it to the kids, to make him look more sympathetic.
Yes.
That he's stealing. And I think Tim Rice wrote a line in One Jump's like, gotta steal. Is it gotta eat to live, gotta steal to eat, or something?
Yeah.
Gotta eat to live, tell you all about it when I got the time.
I walked into that one, didn't I?
All this for a loaf of bread? You won't get away so easy.
Oh, German, are they?
You call that easy? Getting into a little trouble, aren't we, Aladdin?
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my contribution to that. Carry on.
Okay. Jasmine's appearance was influenced by Jennifer Connelly. I personally don't see it, but
I've never really seen her as sexual because I find Jasmine's quite.
Yes.
She's pretty.
Yeah.
She's real pretty.
As well as the animator Mark Hen's sister, but I don't know what she looked like, so quite possibly. Originally, Aladdin's second wish was going to be an action scene with an obstacle course designed to test Jasmine's suitors. Although the idea was approached with eagerness, scripting and animation, ultimately, they could not get the idea to work in practice.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Though loosely based on the original short story from Arabian Nights, and there are several plot elements that are similar to the plot of The Count of Monte Cristo, which I've not seen.
I don't know that story.
I've not seen.
No. Jafar needed, and I thought this was interesting. And Stephen, you like this, unless you already know about this. Jafar needing Aladdin is similar to Madame Medusa needing Penny in The Rescuers. Both villains say,
Yes.
it's mine, it's all mine. And yeah, they both need them to get something in a cave.
Yes. Oh, look at
Yes.
that.
First Disney animated theatrical release to fully establish the villain before introducing the main protagonist.
Oh, yeah.
And you mentioned Andreas Deha earlier.
Yes.
So he based Jafar on Mark Davis's design for Maleficent.
Mm.
Both carry a staff, they have a bird henchman, and they both turn into gigantic reptiles. Two more.
Yes.
Was the highest grossing film of 1992, earning over $504 million
God, that's a lot.
worldwide. On release, it became the first animated feature to reach the $500 million mark and was the highest grossing animated film of all time until The Lion King.
When it was released on its opening weekend, was it because it came out at number 2 because it was beaten by Home Alone 2, and then it went to be number 1. So it didn't become number 1 on its opening weekend, but you know, to lose out to Home Alone 2, it's fair enough.
Yeah. It's a Christmas film.
Yeah, because it was released like Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
I think it
you'd
took
have thought though they would have learnt their lesson before, because they did this with Rescuers Down Under.
Well, I don't think they learned anything from the Rescuers Down Under.
No.
Right. Awards.
Oof.
So it won 2 Academy Awards: Best Score, Best Song for A Whole New World, and it was the first animated film to win Best Song at the Grammys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
won
that.
a Grammy for A Whole New World.
It is a good song, though.
It is a good song. Yeah.
Oh,
Been even
yeah.
better if Celine had done a version, but there we are.
I know, I want to hear her version.
I know.
Mm.
Do you
Oh,
reckon
it's
somewhere along
definitely
the
in
line
my
it's
top
there?
5 Disney songs. 100%. Me and
Yeah.
Matt love singing it on a road trip. We love it.
Right, yeah, I am finished with my facts now.
I'll go into my usual VHS stuff, and then I've got a few other bits. So first VHS release in the US was 1993, but it came out in August 1994 in the UK. So if you'd not acquired a
Pirate
pirated
copy.
you would have got it in August 94. In its opening week, 10.8 million copies were sold, which sounds like a lot. Overall, there's 25 million. However, in that first week, the VHS was released on the 29th of September. However, it wasn't advertised until the 1st of October. So it sold 10.8 million copies without even being advertised.
Wow.
Wow.
DVD came out in 2004, Blu-ray 2013, and 4K in 2019. When Robin Williams passed away, as a tribute to him, it was broadcast ad-free on the Disney Channel, Disney XD, and Disney Junior. Then I've got some hidden Mickeys. When Raja transforms back to the do you know what? In this it said his, but I always thought Raja was a girl, but there we are. When he transforms back to his normal self, his head is briefly Mickey's.
Oh,
The genie's head turns into Pinocchio.
yeah.
The genie, we mentioned this in The Little Mermaid, but he pulls Sebastian out from the recipe book, and the Under the Sea kind of plays. One of Sultan's toys are the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. the lighting around Jafar as a genie at the end, where he kind of is up there showing his muscles, is a homage to Chernobyl from Fantasia.
Oh,
Maui does Aladdin's apple trick as an homage to Ron
Oh,
Clements.
yeah. Yeah, he does. That's right. Yeah.
yeah.
The lamp, and it may be the single item that appears in the most Disney films ever, appears in Princess and the Frog with Mama Odie. Dig a little deeper. She throws it
Mm.
out. It's in The Three Musketeers. It's on Yax's shelf at the reception desk in Zootopia. It is in King Louis's temple in the live action of The Jungle Book, and it's on the back of Tamatoa's shell in Moana.
It's also in my kitchen.
Hey!
There it is. I have the
Do you know
lamp.
what? Literally, so I have a Christmas decoration of the lamp, and I literally packed it away earlier. So they're those ones. First and last. So this is the last to have opening credits until Lilo and Stitch, which was a decade later. It's the last VHS in the Walt Disney Classics range to feature the Walt Disney Pictures logo rather than the Buena Vista logo. It's the first to feature the mention of Allah and is therefore the first mention of another religion outside of Christianity. It's the first Disney princess film released after the Cold War. It's the only princess film where the prince is the lead. It's the first Disney film where the princess and the villain kiss. Now, I saw this as the only Disney film where that happens. But does Hans and Anna kiss in
No,
Frozen? No. Okay. So
No, I
yes.
don't think they do.
She is
they
also
go
the
to
first.
kiss, and then he turns around and goes, "Oh, if only there was someone who
Oh
loved you."
yeah. I
And then
thought it
it's
was at the beginning. They might
dun
have.
dun
Dun dun
dun.
dun.
Yeah.
He's a
Um,
villain.
she is also, Jasmine is the first princess to wear pants, as in trousers, not as in
Yeah.
Yeah.
knickers. And just because I need to sneak this in, and it's just a fact that no one else is going to find amazing apart from me, it's the first film to be released after Sterling Holloway passed away.
Oh,
We've gone through so many, so he's been alive throughout every single Disney classic film
up
up
until
until
this.
now. Then I've just got some random facts. So the carpet, the pattern on the carpet, and the Cave of Wonders and the castle, they're all CGI. And Aladdin's carpet ride as well is CGI. The genie transforms into different things twice in this film. However, in the trilogy, it's 12. And there was going to be an IMAX re-release, and a trailer was even made and prepared, but it was cancelled. Video games. There are 7 Aladdin video games available on Sega Genesis, Sega Game Gear, Super Nintendo, the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Sony PlayStation. The PlayStation version presented a sequel to the original film, which wasn't Return of Jafar.
Oh,
Characters also feature in Kingdom Hearts and Magic Kingdom and all of those usual Disney
yeah.
Disney
things.
Infinity. Yeah.
Yeah. However, Kingdom Hearts 2 features elements of Return to Jafar as well. And then there's Wish.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Couldn't find a lot about this. However, because Merida is Pixar,
Mm.
Jasmine and Aurora are the only 2 princesses from the official line who are not in the end credits.
Yeah, it's Aladdin, isn't it? Is it
It's
Aladdin
Aladdin,
that's in the
and
credit? Yeah.
Aurora is Maleficent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the only thing I could find on Wish.
Yeah, there's not I don't think there's any Aladdin references
Not
in the
Not even the
film.
lamp. Is the lamp not
No,
somewhere in there?
No, couldn't
no.
find anything to do with the lamp. But when we watch it for this, I'm going to write a
Yeah.
full-on list. I might even just do an individual podcast episode where I'm just listing all of the references.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to watch that film in slow motion.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, because it's so like we still haven't counted all hundreds.
no.
Yeah.
The parks. So in 2003, Disney California Adventure opened Disney's Aladdin, a musical spectacular. Um, Only 90% of the the show was scripted. The other 10% was all ad-libbed and was updated with current affairs. So this would have been the Genie's part.
Mm.
Um, these just feature in different Disney parks, but we've got the Agrabah Cafe, Agrabah restaurant in Disneyland Paris. There's the Morocco Pavilion where you can meet and greet uh, Aladdin and Jasmine. In Epcot, there's also the Morocco Agrabah areas in near enough all the other parks as well. There's the Magic Carpet ride, which features fantastically in
Oh,
Hollywood studios. Oh, Walt Disney Studios, sorry. Over in
this ride
Florida,
really gets my back up in that park.
Oh,
it is where so in Paris, you've got the bit where you can meet Jafar and you've got like the
Which is where it
Agrabah
should
bit.
be.
It's there. It also has two camel statues, and these camel statues spit and they're
Oh,
reused from a parade. Um, you can also,
it's the
there's a
walkthrough.
walkthrough. There's
Yeah,
the
the walkthrough.
walkthrough.
love the walkthrough.
Yeah.
I'm a bit
Yeah.
with the walkthrough. I think it's okay. It's better than that Wild West thing they've got going on. Um, the Enchanted Tiki Room was taken over by Iago, and
Yeah.
yes, and now I've said that I can't remember the other name from The Lion King. What's the bird?
Zazu.
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 Called under new management. However, there was a fire and it destroyed the Iago too much that they decided to change it back.
Okay.
There are meet and greets available with Abu, Genie, Aladdin, Jasmine, and Jafar. And at Disneyland Paris, you can also meet the Sultan.
Yeah, he's out on those special nights.
I have
What?
met
Yeah.
I haven't met the Sultan, but I've met all the others.
Okay.
Oh, I ran after Jafar.
Yeah,
I
didn't you
did.
say Jafar? I love you.
Yeah.
And he stopped and turned round and like bent over laughing.
We bumped into him. He came out of the Agrabah restaurant and we were walking towards the toilets and he stopped at Finlay. And it just so happened that the cart next to him had Jasmine outfits and he picked up one and put it up against Finlay to see if it would
Oh,
fit.
that's so good.
So my first meet with Jasmine did not look like Jasmine at all.
Oh,
She was the wrong ethnicity. She was
oh,
more Chinese, and she wasn't the same build.
yeah.
Yeah.
She was,
So she wasn't curvy.
I find
she,
Jasmine very sensual. She's very,
She's got
she
an
was
yeah,
very,
hourglass figure.
no,
yeah.
she was very, very curvy. And Aladdin was smaller than her.
Oh,
Oh no.
So I'm not thinking, but I've got other photos of others, and yes,
Okay.
she looks good. And then we get on to the sequels, the television series, and the live action. So we have Return of Jafar, which was 1994. The Genie at this point, due to issues, which we'll
Mm-hmm.
mm.
touch upon another podcast, was played by Dan Cas Castellaneta. Castellaneta? Well, basically Homer Simpson. I'm not going to be
Oh,
able to pronounce that surname, I'm afraid. It was Disney's first direct-to-video sequel for the animated classics as well. Half of that film was animated in Australia, and the other half was animated in Japan. And you will find that in the Australian animated section, they are more based on character, whereas the Japan animated section is more based on the look and the feel.
Okay.
And it is
Yeah.
literally split in half. There's a moment in the middle of the film where it suddenly changes.
Okay.
Um, then there was the Aladdin TV series, which ran for 3 seasons and between 1994 and 1995, and which accumulated in The King of Thieves, which was the 1996 direct-to-video. Dan, who played Homer Simpson, had recorded all of his lines for the genie. However, due to working with Jeffrey Katzenberg's replacement, Robin Williams was persuaded to come back and re-recorded all the lines.
Wow.
It's a bit awkward. And there's a live
Yeah.
action adaptation in 2019 as well as a stage play. And I think I have covered all my facts.
Woo!
Well, the stage play is on our list. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to see it. I think it was in Edinburgh the beginning of this year, but we just had too much going on, and like the tickets are incredibly expensive. I'm not gonna lie, I have been hesitant about going to see it because the snippets of it that I have seen, I'm not keen on because I love the film so much.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, this isn't for me.
So the genie is do you know what? We're already rated quite over 18 anyway. So the genie is a fan wank for Disney films. He will make references to everything, make jokes.
Yeah,
Um, there's certain bits where he'll just start singing things from other ones.
Yeah.
Like there's a joke in Zootopia where he goes, "Let it go,"
Yeah.
yeah,
that kind of thing. The whole new world is amazing,
okay.
Okay.
just amazing.
Right.
Like I don't even want to know how they've done it because, as far as I'm concerned, it's magic.
Right.
Full
Oh.
stop.
Well, I think if it does come round again, I definitely will do my best to try and get us tickets to go and see it in Edinburgh.
Yeah,
And obviously, we have seen the ice show as well. Not that I can remember much of it because I was only, what, like 3 or 4 at the time. But I do know that we went and I
Yeah.
remember
I
it being
can't
good.
remember. I just can't remember if it was the full film, like the
I
Beauty
think
and the
it
Beast,
was.
or if it was a section in a multi-section one. But I do remember that you got the Raja Teddy
Yeah.
and I got the Abu.
The Disney on Ice shows now. I mean, the one that we went to see, God, I think it would be about 3 years ago because it's not been in Aberdeen since. It's just the genie that's on the ice, and he's
Mm.
just part of like uh end of the show sort of sequence mixed in with other characters.
Right.
There wasn't an actual like Aladdin segment in it.
See, the one
Um,
that we went to, we got one jump ahead
oh wow.
and a friend like me.
Oh no, we
Yeah.
I
didn't
haven't
we didn't
been.
get that.
Oh,
I haven't
Stephen, you'll
been.
have to go. You'll like it.
Yeah,
I
The Disney on
know.
Ice is good. It is
Yeah.
I
good.
think we're waiting for when there's a little one involved because
Oh
it's
yeah,
a bit different as two grown men go into Disney on
There's lots of
Ice.
adults there.
yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's a bit, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I would recommend it. It's fun. Right. Thoughts of the film.
Oh, like it's in my top 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Like, well, it's not my favorite. Wish is a big contender at the
Mhm.
moment. I have to say, I just love that film.
Yes.
But yeah, no, there's everything about it. The animation, the colors, the voices, the story, the songs, everything. Yeah, I just love it. I love it. I really don't have anything bad to say about the film.
So am I guessing yours is 5 out of 5?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I love it. I've got nothing. The only thing would be this is where we're now starting to touch on cultural appropriation. And none of the voices are of Pakistan, Indian, or Arab descent.
No.
None of
No.
them. Not
Didn't
one voice in that film has an ethnic origin from that part of the world.
Yeah. The thing people forget is, although these films eventually become famous and make money worldwide, the target audience is always going to be Americans.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's where the company's based.
Yeah.
That's the audience that they care about. They
Yeah.
don't care about anybody else is a bonus.
Yeah.
So if your target audience is your home country, then that's what you're going to make the film attractive to.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, by doing the right thing now, it's becoming unattractive to audiences in America because they don't want to go to the cinema and hear those accents. They want to go to the cinema and hear their accent.
Yeah.
To go and understand the film. Yes, they want to see a bit of culture, and in their magical land of make-believe, that's what they want to believe, that Agrabah, is a real place. That's what it looks like. That's what India looks like. That's part of why people love going to the cinema. They can't get to certain places in the world, and they want to go and they want to believe that that's what those. And yes, up until the last 10 years, where we're really trying to do better in regards to the rest of the world. I think Aladdin, for me, is one of those films where if the only thing that's negative to people now in terms of wokeness is the fact that
which it really is. It's only the fact that the voice
actors were not from where the film's set.
Yeah.
That's not.
That really is it.
Yeah.
Again, it's another one of those Disney films on Disney Plus. When you go to play it, it has a warning before it starts.
Yeah.
It basically informs you that there is things in the film that may not represent that culture properly.
I mean, I give this a 4.5 out of 5. So I probably have the lowest score out of all three of us. I don't know what you give it.
I gave it a 5. I couldn't find a fault. Why did you not give it 5 then?
For me, it's never been in one of my top films.
Okay.
It's just never been there, and it can be just beaten by Beauty and the Beast, by The Lion King. I enjoyed them a lot more. I enjoyed Hercules. Wish is kind of snuck into that top 5 as well. There's just been more that are 5 out of 5 for me, which is why it was 4.5 rather than 4. I don't think it misses any marks. I just don't think it. For me, it's almost like it hasn't grabbed me.
Yeah, I mean, I've made points of like it was funny. There's a good villain, great music, beautiful to look at. Jasmine's beautiful. Technically, it's impressive. The like when Aladdin is trying to escape the lava in the cave, on the magic on the carpet. I mean, that scene,
CGI.
wow. And I remember that in the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
That part of the game. The Prince Ali sequence, that parade, is just fab. And the whole new world sequence as well. It's so romantic. I'd probably say I know that the Beauty and the Beast dancing sequence is, you know, that's lovely and beautiful and oh my God, amazing to watch. Being swept away on a magic carpet for on your like first date, that's pretty romantic. I don't think any other film beats that.
The Beast gave Belle a library, a whole room of her own to kind of sit and read in, like, with
Yeah,
no one else there, away from the rest of humanity. As far as I'm concerned, it's like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, that's the point when she should have kissed it. That's the point when the film
yeah,
ends, to
yeah,
be
I
honest
know.
with you. She should have gone all the way at that point. He gave her a book, like a room full of book, and stopped her from seeing other human beings. Like, that to me is just,
That's love.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Um,
like flying on a carpet. Looks a bit cold.
I also made a note of the fact, like now we touched on it earlier about, how we said that Robin Williams doing this part kind of was the first film where, being a famous actor, it's cool to do
Yeah.
voice. And
Mhm.
after this, we get loads more. But I think that, and I was reading like the critics of this film because it got such a good score. I think it had like 96% on
Okay.
tomatoes. So I was reading like all like at the time what critics wrote about the film. And it was all positive. And this one particular critic, I'm sure it was the New York Times, and they'd said how that this was the first animated film that they know of that they sat down and that both adults and children would get something out of watching this. And when I read that, like I made sure that I paid attention when I watched it today. And yeah, like animated films now are watched by both adults and children more than ever.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I think up until this film, it was really only kids, mums and kids that went to the cinema to see an animated film. You're the odd dad, yeah. Or if you went as a family, fine. But like the fact that I can say to my in-laws about a new animated film and they'll get as excited as much as us. And it'll be simply because now it's so normal for an animated film to be written for both an adult audience and a children's audience. They put in that humor that will go over children's heads, but it's there
Mhm.
for the adults. The pop culture references, it's all there for the adult audience that
Yeah.
kids won't know about.
The
And there's
Joan
not a
Rivers.
Disney film before this that did that. And it's because of Robin Williams, because he just went wild with all his ad libbing and improvising and, his impressions. And, like apparently half the stuff he said was R rated.
Mm.
And now the animators must have had a right good laugh.
Oh,
It
yeah.
must have been in fits. I mean, they must have had stitches from laughing. And half the stuff that they couldn't use. I mean, oh my God, the fact that that is in the Disney archives and they can go and watch that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I made that point. I wanted to make that point. That from now, and I think this is also part of the reason why the Renaissance becomes so successful. I think Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid was because it gave that musical Broadway romance, with really strong characters and a simple story to follow for the kids. But Aladdin brings the adults, I think, to the cinema for an animated film, and it does continue.
I don't think it's not even that. It's this, like you say, it's the whole, it's everything as a package. It's not just like how Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid were, where yes, the songs are so magical, and the fact that we can listen to those movie soundtracks without watching the film
Mhm,
and enjoy them. Whereas Aladdin, it's everything.
mhm.
It's the storyline, it's the music, and it's the animation. All of it hits 10 out of 10.
Mm.
There's not one part of that film from start to finish where I'm like, oh, that's a bit like, or it's just brilliant from start to finish and just draws you in, like you say, for kids and for adults. The whole film.
But as well, it's like considering this is a romance film.
Yeah, it's funny. And
But so many boys or men will say that this is their favorite.
oh yeah,
Both
definitely.
Matt and Luke have
Yeah,
said that this is one of their favorite Disneys.
yeah,
And it is, I think, the first princessy romance animated film that men will admit, oh, loved Aladdin.
yeah. But like you said, Jasmine isn't the main character. It is Aladdin.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It is Aladdin. I mean, the film's called Aladdin.
I know.
Hello. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
a musical, but that's set around a boy,
Yeah.
which we don't really get.
No, again, it's that barrier.
Yeah,
They seem to be just,
Yeah.
although they probably didn't intentionally go out to do it, that it's
Yeah.
another barrier where it's okay, you've got a boy in the lead of a musical.
Yeah.
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 So,
Oh, the film's just brilliant. I just love it. Love it.
Well, there you go, folks. We've all agreed this is a good one.
yeah.
And yeah. Okay, Stephen's half mark will pretend.
Oh, no, it's only because, for example, like I'm, the songs, yeah, okay, the majority of them are 10 out of 10, the humor, the characters and the things, but there are certain things where I'm just like, do you know what? I didn't get 10 out of 10 on that.
Was it Diego?
The pronunciation. It's no, like, so for example, like, although Jafar is a brilliant villain, Ursula is a better villain for
Yeah.
me.
Mm,
So to differentiate Ursula
Mhm.
from Jafar, Jafar might be a 9 out of 10 and
Yeah.
Ursula's a 10 out of 10. So therefore I can't mark it
Mhm.
5 out of 5 kind of thing. So
That's fair
that's
enough.
why. That's why.
Yeah.
But
And you
yeah.
normally find the villain very misunderstood, but not in Jafar's case. We're happy that he is a bad guy in
Do you
this
know
one.
I with Jafar is so the film as the film is yes, I think he starts off as the bad guy wanting to get power and tries to achieve it. He's a bit rapey. He's not a great person. However, in the expanded media, when they started doing things, apparently the Sultan doesn't go out of the castle and doesn't see all of the poverty-stricken people.
He's
No.
a bit of a, is
And
that hermit? Is that what they call them? Is he a bit of a,
yeah,
yeah,
and so he never leaves the palace. He wants his daughter to marry a prince just because he's a prince. He's sat playing with Beauty and the
toy.
Beast toys. Is he the right person to lead
Mm.
that
And he
country?
easily manipulated, as we
Oh,
can
yeah.
see.
All he needs is a tall guy with a snake, and he is
Yeah,
completely under. And it's like, so in that way, if you take all the expanded media as part of
yeah.
it, maybe he was just doing it for the good of the country of Agrabah. Maybe
There
that's
you
what he
go,
was doing.
folks. Stephen's managed to reason Jafar's behaviour. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can stay in touch with us with Threads, Instagram. You can listen wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can
Blue
also listen
sky.
on YouTube. What did you say, Stephen?
Blue sky.
Blue Sky. Oh, yes, we're on Blue Sky. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
another one. Thank you, Holly, for being our
Yes.
guest again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, I'm sure you'll be back.
Yeah.
We've got a few special episodes coming up, including one about Robin Williams. And we're going to do one as well about Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, because this is the last that Howard's involved. After this,
Yeah.
Menken's on his
On
own.
his own. Yeah,
Yeah,
on his
with
own.
various people. So, yes. Okay, good night.
Good
Night,
night.
night.
Yes, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Jamie and Stephen Show. If you like this episode, go and do us a favour and leave a review. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Thank you. Goodbye.